How adorable is this DIY parade float? It was super easy to make. Just some cardboard, spray paint, tape, and a couple of cups as sirens. Jenny O is having a contest for the chance to win tickets to the 2021 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. All you have to do is make your own parade float like us. More info on how you can enter in my highlights.
You make me a maniac, but you don't know. Well, baby, like, shit is crazy, right? That ain't your baby, no.
Funny, yes, but not funny, haha. Funny, weird.
This oven was so requested, so we had to make it. Cut 3/4 out of the middle of your box to make your door. Then take another piece of cardboard, tape it to the back to be your panel. Take some CDs and super glue them to your box to make burners. Take fasteners and eggs to make knobs, then make your handle for the door. Finally, cut corners out of a box, glue them to the inside to make support for your shelf, which you'll cut out of an extra box. A ton of you guys have asked for furniture, so let's make a house to store it all in. Take 3 boxes and cut the flaps off. Glue the boxes on top of each other, then cut scrap board to make individual rooms. Hot glue it on and glue on a roof as well. Find some paper to decorate. Maddie got distracted by cars, of course. Hot glue your paper on and now your house needs furniture.
Oh my gosh, it's a fashion fidget vending machine. They come in mystery boxes. I have $1, so let's get one. Now, for the fashion fidget to come out, all you have to do is twist. Oh my gosh! Let's open it. Oh my gosh! This fashion fidget is so cute. Her skirt spins and pops. Her ears spin and they have cute little bows. And her cheeks click. Here's what I got at the fashion fidget vending machine.
You know, you're absolutely right. Watch this.
Hey! Shh, dude, no. You gotta go like.
Show us your new wings. Excellent. 1 wing, 2 wings. All the way up wings.
Grab those boxes from recycling. Cut out sets of cardboard triangles in multiple sizes. Hot glue a stick from the yard to one of the triangles and then hot glue the same size triangle on top.
Cut a piece of yarn and hot glue one end to the cardboard. Wrap it all around the triangle and hot glue the end. Glue a star on the top and then put floral foam in any container or vase. Add your cardboard Christmas trees. Floral moss on top hides the foam.
This craft was most liked, so keep your ideas coming to see what wins next. You'll need 2 boxes. Put one on its side, then cut off the top and save. Add some tape on the sides to reinforce. Cut out a piece of cardboard from the second box to make your other roof piece and tape them together. Then tape them to the house. This next part is extra, but it's so cool. Put the house face down, cut down the center of the back and bottom, and cut along the fold where they meet. Add tape to the cuts, and now you can collapse it.
How to make this fidget vending machine. First, get a cardboard box and pencil and outline your design. Once you've outlined everything, start coloring it in. Once you've colored everything, cut out the bottom. Next, trace a toilet paper roll in the middle and cut it out. Now, cut out the coin slot. Cut this piece off the top for later. When the front's done, turn it around. Now we're going to connect this toilet paper roll with this by cutting 2 short pieces and sliding this in. Then with this, you're going to slide it into the hole. Now use any container and tape it under the coin slot. And now turn it around and add some finishing touches. Now all you need to do is turn it around, put a fidget on, and it's ready.
Like summer, and it feels like summer. Feels like summer, and it feels like.
I saw this clock at the op shop and I really wanted it, but it wasn't for sale, so I'm going to show you how I made my own. This was the clock that I already had on hand. It was just sitting in a cupboard unused, so I pulled it apart, taped it up, and decided I wanted to paint the face white because I didn't like the red. It wasn't going to go with my sun theme. Don't worry, I switched to a bigger brush eventually and did a couple of coats of just a normal acrylic white undercoat until it was a nice solid white colour. When I was peeling the tape off, I realised I probably didn't need it in the first place, and I actually ended up painting those edges with the undercoat paint anyway. But that's okay because I'm learning as I'm doing. Next step was to create the sun rays around the edge. To do this, I created my design on Adobe Illustrator and printed it out on A4 bits of paper, which I taped together and then cut it out. So this is my stencil that I'm going to use, and I placed that onto my secondhand cardboard and just cut it out using a Stanley knife. The cardboard that I used was just off some old packaging, and I cut 2 of these out for the front and the back of the sun. Using my hot glue gun, I glued the cardboard shapes onto the clock frame. Now I could have just put this on one side, but because it was going to be in my hallway and people were going to see it from the side as they enter my house, I wanted to give it this 3D effect. To do this, I used some tape because it was a bit less messy than glue, and I used a nice thin cardboard that would curve easily around those curvy sun rays. I'm just using some normal masking tape here. I actually found this a little bit easier to use than the blue tape. It was a little bit more sticky, and I'm really just tacking it in place at the moment. I'm going to do some more reinforcing down the track. So I just did one side of the ray first, and then the second side, as well as taping it on the ends, and then I flip it upside down and just fix up where I had taped it as well. So really just tacking it in place to get the main shape at this stage. So this is where we're at. It's still looking a little bit rough, but this is just the beginning stages, so trust the process. You can see I've got a few little gaps here where the cardboard didn't exactly meet up, but that's fine because we're going to fix those as well. So now I went around and just secured everything a little bit more tighter with the tape. And then to get those little gap parts, I just put the masking tape up like this and teared the top in two and stuck it down. I thought this was a really nice way to just make sure everything was proper and secure. Then I wanted to add a little bit of a 3D effect and some extra interest on these lines, so I rolled up some paper and then covered them in masking tape. I cut the ends off so I had these kind of little tube paper things happening, and then I used some hot glue to glue these down onto my guidelines just to create a little bit of a 3D effect. Once I was happy with how that was looking, I was ready for the next step, which is the paper mache. Make sure you're following me for the next steps of this project. I'm hoping to give you guys as much detail as possible. Now that I had my sun clock frame assembled and paper mache'd, it was time for painting. I started off with just a single coat of white acrylic undercoat paint. I did the top side first and then let that dry before flipping it over and painting the back. As I was finishing this, I was thinking that the paint over the paper mache was looking a little bit too flat and I wanted to add some texture. I've done this technique in some previous videos where I mix baking powder with the paint to create this kind of textured thick paint. I added way too much baking powder here and then had to add more paint and ended up with way more than I needed, but anyway. So this is the texture that I was going for. It goes on really nice and thick. So I went around and did one single coat of that, and then I just neatened up some of the build up with a paintbrush as well, and then flipped it over to do the other side. I really like this technique, and this clock will be hanging up near my crystal moon shelf as well, which was also painted with acrylic paint with baking powder mixed in, so it's going to be nice that they're going to have a similar texture. I also think that it helps to just hide some of the paper texture from the paper mache as well. So here's where we are so far after a couple of coats of this thick textured paint, and I was really loving how it was looking so far. Next step was to spray paint it this brass colour that I already had on hand. So I took it outside and got spraying. This spray paint is so lovely and it's really shiny. My mum gave it to me, but I'm pretty sure she just got it from Bunnings. And so this is how she's looking spray painted. You can still see that really nice textured effect underneath, but then we have this metallic-y brass over the top, which I just absolutely loved. So this is how she's looking after being spray painted, and the next step was to reassemble the clock. I was really excited to see how it was going to look all together with the white painted clock face, and here she is. I just love how artistic it looks and it goes with my home decor perfectly. If you make something similar, I'd love to see, so make sure you tag me.
Oh, okay. You didn't need to pay, but thank you. I don't have a slushie, but I do have ice cream, so that's what I'm gonna give you later. This pizza is already cooked, so we're not gonna cook it anymore. This fridge is a mess. Oh my god. gonna give you birthday cake since that's the best one. And I'm gonna give you cups since your emoji is a cup. I'm not gonna give you any topping because that one doesn't have any. I'm just gonna give you whipped cream. Let's get you a spoon. Here you go. Oh wait, I almost forgot your milk. Let's put this back. Let's get a cup. I'm just gonna pour it here because the table is full. Here's your order. Hope you like it. Bye!
Why don't you say it, baby? Not like I don't mind, but we're so toxic lately. Don't you waste my time. Who you been fucking faking like I'm out of sight? This love ain't real and we don't feel right. It's me or them, but you won't decide. So won't you let go?